Big Boss Jock, my 750. El Poderoso, 750 kilohertz, AM en el radio. Soy yo, el gran jefe de los choques del discos. Radio Rebelde. This is the 9th day of the protest here out in front of the F.B.I. office. Aquí en Redding, California, sigue la manifestación al frente de la oficina del F.B.I. Continuando, analizando la oración inaugural de la presidencia de Estados Unidos. Y vamos a ver. Afro population, you are if you have roots that tie back to the continent of Africa. Wait, Afro population. If you are, wait, you are if you have. Oh, Afro population, you are that if you have roots that tie back to the continent of Africa. There are 35 other countries in the Americas. I'm not sure about Canada. Jamaica, I've named off a bunch of them. They all use Afro-American. I already covered that before. I hope people of all hues, with an especially for the hue the name is attached to, that all readers understand Afro-American is an impartial, non-racist term for someone of that ethnicity. In my writings is something I will continue to use. You, the reader, is welcome to use too. So the reader understands a person of African descent is not to be called Afro. They come from the Afro population. Them as an individual will be considered an Afro-American, such as an Afro-Cubano or an Afro-Peruano. People need to realize how black-white speech is toxic. Using names of colors to classify people is racism. You people, through the use of these words, have filled yourselves with rage, which has made for hate. Time to change your ways. Black, white, brown, yellow, red speech, refrain. Native American, Afro-American, Caucasian American, Hispanic American, Asian American, these terms are correct. Readers should understand they are broad terms. Caucasian means from a mountain range in Europe, a place few Caucasians know anything about, the Caucasus. If you are a Caucasian, there is no culture assigned. There are differences between places such as Scandinavia with Mediterranean. One thing we all know, they are all Caucasians. People who came from a known mountain range located near the Urals zones are part of Russia, Russian territory. There should be more titles made up. Previously mentioned titles are the proper terms. Those titles should have been being used. Reason they haven't been is because the 6 corporations led by Yankee Sam. MK Ultra is a pyramid. And what I'm saying is the term a Caucasian, but the African American every time is the American. The Caucasian's just another. And wait a second, someone from Italy and Finland are of the same race. They're the same, in the same group, they're Caucasian. Sicily and Oslo. Or Sweden, Stockholm? I don't think so. But in the ignorant Yankee place called the Yankee Divided States, that's the way it is. 1508. Computer generated are the 4 individuals at the bottom of the screen. Analysts need to ask, why are they looking into the camera? Why the others are looking to the right side of the screen? Possible Muslim males make for markers. 2 men, 1 on each side of the screen. In between are 2 Caucasian females. Or 2 Caucasian females. Women wearing hats. Only thing missing was pointy tips. 1 woman had long blonde hair, the other used a nationalist scarf. She looked stern while the blonde had a smile. The man to the right side of the screen put his hat in his mouth. Precise timing with the image. Changing. Good afternoon. His hat in his mouth blocked the view of his scarf. Black with white checkers represented Palestine. Collars with design are associated with terrorism. Terrorism, black with white, the checkers. Both men have on gray with black attire. Man on the left-hand side had red computer generated onto his scarf, made for red with black communist colors. Gray with black on his beanie, colors symbolize the group. In the sense of a group, in the black on his beanie, colors symbolize the group in the sense of a group in the street. Excuse me, I repeated that line twice. What I'm saying is black with gray, when it's on the people, it represents the whole group. If it's the color of the organization, it's black with white. Colors symbolize that group in the sense of the group in the street, because BBB's official colors, ones they put on the back on their vests, fly from the sissy bar when they ride, colors are black with white. ISIS signature colors. Yankee Sam chose them from their beginning. Chose them from the beginning. Afro-Americans black with white is by design. Soon you will be classified. Yankee Sam's enemy. Term terrorist you'll be. Yankee Sam chose your colors for you. Terrorist colors. Just like they're choosing the national symbol for the Caucasians. Go ahead and look at that train that was trying to enter into Kosovo from Serbia. Look at the graphics on the front of it. Tried to enter in, I think, in January of 17. Take a look at it. 1509, woman at the center, Caucasian, female. Next to her was a Donald red cap. Next to that red cap was a crime family hat. To the other side was another crime family hat. Woman right on cue, CG movement. Computer generated movement, white with black, glove waved. She looked at the camera, then looked again to the right. Her hand waving, white with black, took us to the next image. 1510, Afro-American woman wore a black with white sweater. Black hat on, she clapped her hands. One clapper took us to the next. First one who clapped to us took us to the crime family hats. That's who had her do that from the subconscious eye's perception. 15 minutes, 10 seconds. Caucasian woman at the bottom of the screen, she had Trump written on the front of her beanie. Towards the middle of the screen, there was a Caucasian female. Third the way in from the right side of the screen, fourth the way down from the top, was a Caucasian woman. Those three women were looking the wrong direction. There were a couple others that moved their heads. Movements were computer generated. Subconscious eye perceived disinterest, disillusionment. 15 minutes, 21 seconds. Donald's words, they all salute the same great American flag. Right on cue as that was said, brown trench coat turned back. Subconscious eye asked, do they? To the dark-clawed person represents the African American community. Brown trench coats, action made for the dark cloth to be exposed. 1522, right before the cut to the next image, brown trench coat leaned towards the center of the screen. His movement blocked out the dark clothes. Next image was of all Caucasians. At the center, an obese, smiling, sunglass man. Subconscious eye perceived that action as the African Americans got blocked out, that they don't count. Smiling man filled the Afro-Americans with rage. Afro-Americans will choose the U.S. flag not to salute. 15 minutes, 25 seconds. I took a better look at the photo. There are two African Americans. One female at the bottom left side of the screen, another wearing the same style hat is located behind the smiling man at the center. Afro-Americans serve as markers for the smiling Caucasian man. Them as markers who are nearly blocked out were used to further enrage Afro-Americans. Analysts take note of the computer generation highlight on the scarf next to the Afro-American women at the bottom of the screen. Man's computer generation, scarf color gray with black plaid connected to the marker's hat. Take note also of the computer generation on the shoulder of the smiling man. Computer generation color on his shoulder made it a shade of Hillary's campaign color. Smiling man's shoulder was blocking out part of the Afro-American's face. 1543 to 1545. Left side of the screen, black cloth atop the banister. Donald's words heard by the same Almighty Creator. Words Almighty Creator that cloth was no longer there. Banister was intentionally kept from the image. Subconscious. I ask the question, do the door close? African Americans believe in the same God. 76 million Muslims live inside of U.S. territory. Demographics of that group is predominantly Afro-American. Subconscious I perceives Afro-Americans as Muslim. Question asked is, do they believe in the same God? I'll give my opinion. Yes, they do. Allah is God, our Father in heaven, our one only God. Allah, Father in heaven. Well, I didn't see what the runner had to say. Some kind of quip as he went by. I don't know. You can go ahead and stay with it. He's jogging down the street. Well, I'll continue on with the protest. I think this will be the last transmission. Yeah. Well, I'll be headed on back down the road towards where I call home. Spent a couple hours out here today and another hour and a half walking. So that is alright. See, if I could get a job working minimum wage, I'd have a radio in a week. And I could try to get another radio the next week, because they would sell me the wrong radio. Make sure to program out my frequency. I'd have the only radio that wouldn't light me up of that model. And GTX 900 Motorola, I wouldn't have to be out here anymore. This is quite discouraging for me. Yeah, I mean, this is criminal. Everyone knows you cannot slander the FBI. That means there's base to what I'm saying. Well, there's no investigation. No charges being placed. Sexual assault's quite a egregious offense. Egregious in nature? Well, that's what kind of an offense? Sexual assault. It is what it is. Big Boss Jock signing off. Yep, I'll be heading home. Yep, gonna mosey on down other side of town. Gonna stroll next to the road. Stay on the walk right here to the side. Walking down the sidewalk. Big Boss Jock signing off. My 750. Day 9 of the protest. El Poderoso 750 kilohertz AM en el radio. Soy yo, el gran jefe de los joques del discos. Radio Rebelde firmando fuera.